are now going to paint our Merry Christmas using the colors that I'm going to put on either this door hanger or this porch leaner. I haven't decided what I'm going to use it for. So as you can see, I have my plate with my red and green. Been painting all day. So I'll put a little bit of red. I already have one that's already done. Let me just show it to you. See? And these are the colors that are on my porch leaner or my door hanger. So I have this one that I'm going to use as an example. So just painting a little bit, doing the colors. And I have here in the back, I hear the A Christmas Carol, the one with Jim Carrey in it, the cartoonish looking one. So that's what's going on in the background. So it just kind of makes things a little bit more festive as I'm working. So I'm painting my M, and I'm doing that in red. It's pretty bright red. I'm going to go back and do some touch-ups, and then my next color is white. So where's my plate with my white? Right here. Might be wondering why I'm using such big sponges to paint with, but I started it when I worked on my door hanger earlier, and I just want to continue to use it. I'm almost out of white, so I'm trying to get every last little bit of this white out. And now I start painting my E. I know I'm probably going to have to go back and do another coat. And I try to take this white. I don't do it for all, but just to get a little bit of this from going inside of the letter. I don't think it really matters one way or the other. And just kind of stopping a little bit as that R starts to go up from the E. And because I know I've done my first one, I'm going to go ahead and start painting on my C. My computer a little bit. Get down, Luna. Get down. My cat's trying to see what I'm up here doing. She comes and visits me when I'm up here working. All right. So now my C has some white on it. And I'm going to go ahead and dry just a little bit of it. Just to help it quickly dry. And as we're waiting, my next color is going to be this pretty lime green color. So I have moved some stuff because my area was so junky, and now I'm trying to figure out where did I put my colored red and green. And I know I have it here somewhere. Just bear with me, y'all. Just trying to think. That's not it. Okay, I'm sure it's like right in front of me, y'all. I cannot figure out what I did with that green. So let's see here. Give me a minute. Let me go take a look. I'm gonna pause and come right back. Okay, y'all. It was right in front of me. I didn't even see it. So I'm putting a little bit of this. It's a sour apple. It's the color from Deco Art. And so I'm going to lightly start brushing my arm. And I know that I'm going to make this part this color as well, because on my first one that I've already done, the T is also this color. Color kind of reminds me of the Grinch's color. So remember, I'm going to go back in a little bit and I'm going to get everything looking nice. But right now I'm just trying to get the paint on there. So let's see what else is going to be that green. H is also that green. So I don't have a little child anymore, so anytime the Christmas cartoons or the Christmas music or Christmas movies come on, it reminds me of when I did have a little one at home and was always trying to help make Christmas really special and important for her. She's 26 now, so I still try to make it important for her, but she no longer lives here with us, so I'm doing all of this by myself. This just helps me with some therapeutic time that I think all of us need, and everybody may have different things that allow them to feel that they are taking care of themselves. And I've always liked doing things with my hands. I used to like to create stuff when I was in a classroom and didn't do a lot of painting or arts and crafts in the classroom. Didn't have time for that. We did have an art teacher that our kids went to, so we didn't do all of that in the classroom per se, but there were times that I used to allow my kids to do little projects, and I enjoyed them and they did too. And of course, you could always buy things that are already made for your classroom, but I used to go to what we call the teacher center, which was a place at our central office where we could go in and we could make bulletin board items and materials for our classroom. Oops, that green kind of got on there. Bulletin boards for our classrooms, and file folder games, just all kind of stuff. I truly enjoyed that. I mean, I enjoyed it so much. The first year that I started to teach, they actually had a lock-in, and we could go to the lock-in. It was usually a weekend either in June or July, and you could go to the lock-in and sit up all night and make stuff for your classroom. And I did that for probably 2 years, 2 or 3 years. So okay, so my R is that pretty Christmas green, and actually the name of the paint is Christmas green. It's from Apple Barrel, which you get from Walmart. Sounds like that's the Grinch, y'all, that's coming on. So my little brush or sponge, whatever you would call this, you could tell it's starting to wear down because I've been using it a lot today. Okay, so my Christmas green is done. My white, go back and I'm gonna do this eye in white. Oops, sorry, my S is white. So to go back and take off a little bit with this baby wipe, take off this white. There we go. And go back with our white. There we go, much better. Oops, got just a little bit on the side there. So take that off. Okay, so got rid of that on the side there. And then we have the S that is also white. Okay, so now that we have, I believe we have all the white on here. Let me wipe this off the side. Okay, so now I'm gonna go back with my red. I have some smaller brushes where I'll go back and do some touch-ups. So the Y is red. So I'm going to actually make that other part of that R that goes up should be green. So I'm going to go back and take my green and go over that. And just kind of get that on there. And then I'll touch it back up with the green when I go back. So let me finish this Y. The I is also red. So got it here. And a little bit of red on my white. Let me just wipe it. Okay, and then the A is also red. What are you doing, Luna? Yeah. Luna is my cat. In case you just joined us and you hear me telling Luna to get down. Oh, Luna. Nope. Nope. Get down. Get down. She's smelling some paint. So she's trying to see what's going on up here. Okay, I'm gonna put that little piece there on the red so I could get that little part, and I'm just gonna take the wipe, and wipe it. I might just have to do this with my smaller paintbrush because every time I do that, I go in and I tend to mess that up and then have to go back. So I'm gonna take the smaller brush here and just kind of brush that a little bit. Okay. So I believe I got this Merry Christmas. I got it this year, but I got it from Hobby Lobby. And when I show you when we start to paint on our door hanger ornaments, or as I stated, it could be used as a door leaner. I haven't made my mind up which one I want to do it with. It actually has um, a piece of rope along the back where you can hang it, but it looks like it might be a little heavy, so I'm not really sure if I'm going to use it as um, a door hanger for Christmas or a porch leaner, but I believe it can be done either way. So once I show you um, when we go through that and painting it, then maybe by then I might have an idea of how I'm going to use it. So now let me go back with the white, take a little bit of it off. Okay, so now Luna's down there wagging her tail just as calm. Putting this part here of the S. Actually, this is the A. I probably should have made this line here more of red since it's part of the A going into the S, but on my example, the one I've already done, this is kind of how I have it, so I'm just going to go ahead and do it this way. I haven't decided if I want to actually take some black and add some detail, just some little lines on it. I've thought about it, but when I put it against the one that I've already completed, I really like the way it looks, so I might not do that, but I did think about it. All right, this green one is starting to get a little raggedy on the end. It's starting to leave a little bit of fur. Not really fur, but this foam that's coming off. So I'm going to try to make it through with it, at least to finish it. Okay, so let me take that light green and finish this part of the tea. And now what I'm going to do is go back and touch it up. And I'm not going to bore you with going back and showing you how I touch it up, but I am going to touch it up so that when I finish the actual sign, then I'm going to be able to glue it onto the sign, and I'll spray it. It will not be, it'll be on my porch, so one way or the other it won't be in the elements, but I still will spray it just to protect it. I haven't determined exactly which is the best type of spray to use. I hear people talk about, I think it's Rust-Oleum. I do have some that I got from Hobby Lobby. I cannot remember the name of it. It's in the other room, but I've been spraying my door hangers with it, and so I'll link it, a picture of it, or I'll actually link it for you so that you'll know what it is. Um, but I'm still pretty new as to figuring out what are the best types of things that work for protecting um, door hangers or paint wood that's going to be hanging outside. So we'll be learning that together. All right, y'all. So I'm going to go ahead, and when you see this again, it will be the finished product that will be on the door hanger or the porch liner. Again, I'm not sure what I'm going to use it for, but I'm going to go ahead and finish touching it up. I won't bore you with this, but I will see you when it's time for the finished product. All right, so we're going to get started on this beautiful, you can't see the whole thing, it's a whole long door hanger that is supposed to be uh, 4 ornaments that are together. So I'm going to, I already have an example of one that I made earlier, so I'm going to do pretty much exactly what I did earlier so that this one should match it. So we're starting, this is the bottom, so I'm going to paint it a Christmas green from Apple Barrel. Kind of talked a little bit about that one when we were talking about the name of the colors I was using to paint the Merry Christmas sign. So because I've painted one earlier, this one hopefully won't take me as long. And earlier I did not start with putting the paint down like I just did, so hopefully that'll help me to get finished a little quicker. So I'm not going to spend the whole video showing you each and everything that I'm painting, but I will come back and show you what I'm planning on doing for every circle. So for this one, I'm going to tell you that this is a Christmas green. So I'm going to take my brush, make this a little, oops. Okay, dropping stuff. Let's see. I can have this come up just a little bit. Okay, there we go. So I'm also going to paint the edges, and then I'm going to take a smaller brush and get into some of these corners. Yes, I might get some of it on other parts of it, but it's not going to matter because I will take care of getting it fixed. So this is the bottom circle. So I'm going to take the brush and just kind of paint alongside those edges. Okay, you can't actually probably see me doing, but I'm going over the sides of this circle. Okay, now that I've done that, I'm gonna let it dry for a minute, and then I'm gonna take some green glitter paint and go over it with that. Okay, friends, so now I am drying the green circle with my heat gun. And while it's drying, because I'm going to go back with it another coat, I'm going to now take the green, the lime green color is like what I like to call it. It reminds me of the Grinch, the color of the Grinch. But it's actually sour, I think it's called Sour Apple. And it's by Americana. Excuse me, it's by Deco Art, which is the Americana collection. Still learning my paints. So now you'll see me taking my sponge brush, is what I like to call it. And as I stated, I'm going to go back and clean all this up with a bigger, doing this now with a bigger brush, and then I'll go back and take smaller paintbrushes and clean everything up. So to make this a little quicker as well, what I may do is just go ahead and put a little bit of that on there. That helps a little bit. Some of it went off on the side there. So I'm going to go wipe it up. Okay. Then I'm going to now start painting those sides again. And then we'll go back and we'll start painting putting that green, darker green glitter on the bottom one. Okay, now I'm going to take, if it wants to come out of there, it's Crafter's Collection Green Glitter. I believe I got this from Hobby Lobby. And I probably would have done this a little different if I had done this on the first one this way. My intent at first was just to do green and then put some, wipe this off, put green and then just put some glitter over it. And then you'll see in a little bit why I wish I hadn't done it this way, but since I did it this way on the first one, I'm going to have to do it this way on the second one. So I'm just going back and forth with the glitter green, just kind of not the easiest paint to get out. Oops. Well, that's a pretty big glob. Okay, so now I should be able to just kind of go back and forth, around and back and forth. And then originally, like I said, I was going to leave it like this, and then another idea hit me, and I decided to do something a little different. So I'm gonna let this dry a bit. So these are my bottom two. And I'm going to stop here. And while this section is drying, I'll move some of my stuff around, because I want to take, originally I was going to make this lighter green color. See if I could turn it this way so you can see. Yeah, there we go. So I was going to make the lighter green color. I was going to do like a plaid, and then after I did the one, the original one, I was like, well, I like this better, so I'm going to go ahead, and I think this is pretty much the center. I tried to measure it the first time, but because the bulb kind of goes in the opposite direction, it's kind of hard to know if I'm actually on the center. So I'm taking some frog tape and I'm putting it pretty much in the center. Okay, then I'm going to take a little piece of it. I'm going to put it beside this one. And now I'm going to take another longer piece of tape. I have a little, oh, that's the green that's coming from the paint. And I'm like, where is that green coming from? Okay. Okay. Then I'm going to take this little piece up, put it here again. Okay. Take another piece of tape, put it here on the end. Then I'm going to take my guide piece, come over here. So originally, if I would have done this as the plaid as I had thought about doing, then I would do this painted And then we would take this tape and then go the opposite direction. But I like the way it came out when I first did it, so I didn't worry about doing the plaid on here. So again, and we'll have just a wee little piece here, and I'm not even going to tear off because I think that this will allow me just to put, well, let me see it. I'm just going to and so what I'll do here is paint it here. Okay. All right, so we're going to do that in red. So my green is still drying, my dark green is drying. So what I'm going to do with this, I'm going to start here on the edge and just paint this little part here red. Okay, I'm going to leave that there because technically this would be gone, but I'm going to leave there because I only had that little bit of edge. Okay, so this will be the green, so this will be my red. Oh, well, we'll just see how that comes out. So paint just in this little side here. Oops. Put a little bit more paint there. Get this little section here. Remember, I'm going to go back over this in another color. Okay, take my red, continue. I see some of my green is still a little wet here. Paint that stripe in the middle here. This red really did come out really pretty on this lime green color. Okay, more red. Okay, y'all. So it's still wet, of course. So what I'm going to do is go back and take my heating tool. Try it. You want to dry it because when you pull up the tape, you want it to get a nice crisp line. And if it's wet, it might bleed a little bit. I kind of feel like this one might bleed a little bit. I kind of feel like something is a little off with this part here, so we're going to check it, and if it's not exactly what I want, then I'll repaint it and then do that section again. Because technically, when I put this one down, then this was my next part to mark, then this should have been my next one, but for some reason I feel like that may not be what I was trying to do. And so if it isn't, we'll just fix it. Okay. So we're going to gently pull up the frog tape. So if you notice, see how it made this pretty red line? And so gently pull up. There. And I think what really used to get me with painting when I was a child and doing art was that I was always wondering if I didn't have it perfect, then I didn't feel like I did it right, and then I would get upset with myself because it didn't look like my teachers did, and see, that did that right there. See how this tape kind of came up because it was still a little wet. So what I'm going to do is gently, just ever so gently, try to wipe this up. And then if I have to, I'll go back with some green over it. See? Did pretty good. Yep, that one kind of did the same thing. And this is what I guess I was wondering. This is the part I was saying I felt like there was something. So this really should have been my next line. So what I'm going to do is take this off. See if I can wipe some of this red off. And you see, I'm showing you how you can fix it. I don't know why I got off on that. Okay. So what I'm going to do, this one did leak just a teensy bit as well. And that really was because my green probably was still a little bit damp. And so when I put the tape down, it didn't adhere the way I wanted it to. Okay. So you might say, oh, but look, there's still red there. Yes, it is. But we are going to fix it. So I'm not going to bore you with all the details of fixing it. But what I'm going to do is take the green, go back over it, paint it again. And then I'll come back on once it dries to put that other piece of tape there so that we can get that other line. Okay, so now I've put down my guided piece of tape, and then I've now put the piece that needed to be here in the first place. I don't know how I got off on that, and I apologize. So now I'm ready to take the guided piece off. It's doing it again. I'm not sure how I'm not seeing this, but because when I paint, it's going to paint this one or it's going to paint that. So it looks like to me, maybe what I need to do is leave my guided one here. And I'm just going to guesstimate. It might just be because of the fact that maybe, because I did not have this problem with my other one. So, my guided piece is here. It's almost like my guided piece would need to be here. Then I would put this piece here. And then I would have this big piece here. So what we're going to do, and as I was telling you this before I stopped, was that when I used to be, before I started just realizing that, okay, crafts don't have to be perfect. I'm not perfect, and all I can do is do my best, and it can be fixed. And in the worst case scenario, I just redo it. So let's see how this comes out. Because this is giving me some guidelines here. So, oops, that paint's coming up, that tape is coming up again because it's maybe still a little damp. So I'm just holding it down. And then I'm going to dry it. I really just think it has something to do with maybe the regularity. Maybe I started on my other one, maybe in a different spot, because I did not have any issue at all with the tape on the other one. But again, like I said, we're going to make this work. Okay, so I'm going to move this one first. Okay, we still got a little bit of bleed there, and that's because it wasn't completely dry. So I'm going to lightly just wipe off the red. It took a little bit of my green up, not a big deal because I'll just go back over that and clean it up. There we go. That's better. So y'all, I don't know what happened. Like I said, maybe it was just a little bit off, but we got it. Okay, so I'm going to touch this part up, and then we're going to get back on looking at that dark green that we put the glitter on, and take a look at that one. Okay, so this is what I had done on the very first one, because as I mentioned before, I thought I just wanted it to have the dark green with the glitter paint on it. But then I decided I wanted to make it into maybe, I guess, maybe part of an elf. That makes sense. So that meant that I had to then paint red. And of course it took several different coats of red because it's going over this dark green. If I had thought about this before, then I would not have painted this part green at all, just would have done this part red. But we get to change our minds when we are creating. And that's what I love about it, because I get to do my own thing. And I am an overthinker, so this really helps me to realize that I don't have to overthink everything. And I need to utilize a lot of that type of talk in my own life. That's one reason why I like to learn new things and create new things, because it helps me to realize that it's okay to do things the way I feel like I want to do it, and not have someone telling me how I must do it. I have always been a rule follower, so it's not that it was a bad thing when people told me what to do, but it did become a bad thing for me sometimes when people would tell you what to do and you know that they were doing the wrong thing. And by no means am I perfect, so that's not what I mean when I say the wrong thing. But if I know it's going to harm somebody, then I'm not going to do it. So I just like having the flexibility of doing my own thing, and just hoping that I'm doing what God would consider the right thing. Okay, so I'm drying it a little bit. As I stated before, you can still see that green is really dark. So it is going to take another coat, or maybe 2 coats, for it to be the color that I'm looking for. Okay, so come back over to the other side. Okay, here I go again. See how it's lightening up? This bright red is a pretty color. So you see it is coming to be a red color that you can see. Still have some dark spots, but once we dry those, I'm going to do one more coat and then I'll be ready. So let me instead of me walking around, I'm just going to get my heating tool and see. Drying it off. One more coat, friends, and then we're going to let this dry, and I'll show you what else I did on it. So this time I'm just going to pour some directly on here. There, see how it's lightening up? It's going to dry pretty red over that green. You might say, well, Tiffany, why did you even worry about putting glitter on that? But like I stated, I had already done it on the first one before I decided to do this, and I didn't want this one to look much different than the other ones because they're going to be together. So that's why I did it. All right, we're going to let it dry. And while that one is drying, the one in the middle is going, the one we just did, which was this one, right? Okay, so we've done this one. Then we have a middle one, and I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to paint this one white. And then the top one is going to have a base of a red. So I don't want to waste time having you see me paint white and red. So I'm going to do this, and then when I come back, I'll show you the little finishing touches that I'm going to put on each of these. Let's get this finished, y'all. This is fun, even though I always felt that, this is my first video actually sitting down and going through doing a craft with an audience. So I certainly hope that you all enjoyed just hanging out with me for a little bit. So I think I'm going to take a little bit of this, because I don't know if you can see it right here, this part here. I think it's still part of this bulb. So I'm just going to lightly take the red brush and just kind of put that in. Of course, now baby wipe, because that part under here was still white. Okay. And so then what I also did on the other one was I took, let's try to find this white here. I actually took a dauber on the last one, but I'm gonna try this with this paintbrush and just see how it works. So the little gaps between the like the sides, I tried to make them the same color as the ornament. So I'm just going in and trying to do that part there, and then I believe, yeah. So what I did for on this side, I'm going to take the green, the lime green dauber, and lightly just paint that, if you can see that. And just kind of squeeze it in there. So just kind of get that part in there. That was a little bow. And then right in the crevice here is where the red and the black are the red and the green are meeting. And so I think we got it. Okay, so as all of that is drying, I actually took my black and drew I took my black liner and just lightly do a swoosh there, and swoosh there, and swoosh there, and swoosh there. And then this is where it's still kind of wet, so let me try to dry that a little bit. Okay, so then I I want to make sure I do the black right this time. So my black was supposed to be going around this like that. And then my white was supposed to go around here, and then I just put a little dab of white there. Oops, dab of black. Okay, and then I did a little black line underneath here. Okay, so now this is actually finished, this white, except for me to put on the Merry Christmas sign that I painted earlier. And so now I'm going to take a little bit of the black and then I'm just going to kind of go around in some parts of the bow and line it up some. Then I did the outside of it. Okay, so that just kind of gave a little bit of definition to the ribbon. And then I took, oh, let me wipe this because it's getting some black on it. And then I just kind of put some white in certain areas as well. Okay, y'all, so got that part done. Now we're going to finish up with the red bulb. And so what we're going to do for this one, we're going to actually take some red, the lime green, and then the forest green, and we're going to make some dots. So I'm hoping I have enough dabbers to do this. And so I think the very first one, I did like a really big in the middle. Oh, you can't see. This is trying to hold it so you can see as I'm working on it. So I did like a big right there in the middle. Then I just kind of did some on the side. Trying to close up a little bit of that. And then I had some different size daubers. So just kind of randomly put them in there. And then I took I have the dark green, hopefully this won't, it's trying to wipe some of this off on my baby wipe. As you can see, some of the white is still showing up on this part. There, that works. So I might have a little bit of white on it, but it's perfectly okay. So the dark green. What I have to do is just make sure I have enough that I'm getting on here. There. Okay, and then I did some white. So the thing is now, do I have enough daubers to be able to do my white? I may just do some just do the upside down parts, make little circles. That works. I was trying to see if I had a bigger. Hmm. Oh well, I'll figure something out. Because I'm afraid that the daubers that I've used that has the red and the green. Excuse me, the green and then the dark green, the light green. I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to get enough off to be able to put some white on it without it, um, leaving too much green. I um, I ran out of daubers. Thought I had enough. Well, I'm gonna try it. We're gonna see what happens. And I really don't need that much. So here we go. That's a white. I think if I put just a tiny bit more paint on it, I might be able to get an okay. Maybe if I don't go as hard on it. That's okay. That's just a piece of something. Okay, so that's that one. I'm gonna try one more, y'all. One more. Have a little green around the outside of it, but it's not a big deal. And I really think maybe one more little white one right there. Okay. So now we have put um, our little circles, on the very top one. So this is what it's looking like. Okay, so then the only thing we have left to do is the very top of the ornament. So I'm going to turn this so you can see. Okay, there we go. This part here. So what I did, I took the green. I might have done it as a dauber. I can't remember, but we're going to just try it and see. So I took the green. I made this whole section the green. The Christmas green is what we call this one. And then I made, of course, we got the side here. And at the very top, we're going to take the lime green, and that's going to be the top color of our ornament. So lime green, lime green. So here it is. Push it back. There we go. So this is this part where I just made this whole part here lime green. And then of course doing our sides. Okay, y'all, so then we got this. Then I'm going to go back over just a little bit more with this darker green. On my side. Okay, so now we're going to let that dry, and then we're going to put our little finishing touches. So I'm going to take just a little bit, fill in a little bit where that sponge didn't come off that well. I just love this red. It's a pretty color red. Okay, and then just a wee little bit on the white. Got a little bit of that green mixed in there. I thought that was Ratatouille. Haven't seen that movie since my daughter was either in second or third grade. We went to the movies to see it. Okay, so with the and while we're doing this, I'll just take a little bit. I don't know how this is going to work, but we'll see. I'll just take a little bit of this. Yeah, there we go. Just taking that brush that I had, the white, and just kind of making that. I know that that green is showing up in there, but I think that's okay. Okay, so yeah, I think we got it. We got what we're gonna do with this. Okay, so let's take the black. Let's just kind of make our lines. then we're going to take I think I did the white first. Take a little white liner brush and just lightly put a little swoosh. So I did a white swoosh in all of the colored ones, and then I took the black and then I did like a swoosh of black. Then for my white ones, of course, I just did a black swoosh. I can tell some of my white, of course, is still not very dry, so try not to. Okay. And then I'm going to take a little bit of white and just lightly over my black lines. Okay, got that. And then we're going to take a little bit of white, and I just kind of did a swoosh there, another swoosh, and another swoosh of white. That wasn't quite dry, so let me try that again. And then I did the black line right here. Black swoosh, black swoosh, black swoosh. And then I think, yeah, I did kind of did an outline in black here. And then I took the white and just did a few little outlines there. And y'all, we have it. So what's going to happen? Oops, I forgot a black this little swoosh here. So now what I'm going to do is just remind you of this is our sign. And so the sign is going to go on the white part of our door sign. So, oops, I'll just show y'all real quick. Can't see the whole thing, but once we're finished, I'm going to show you the big picture of it and what it looks like. But see how this is going to go across the white, and I thought those colors came out so beautiful to be able to go on this sign. So as soon as I figure out how I want to put it on the sign, then I will take a picture of it or film it so that you can see how it came out. So I enjoyed my time with you all, and we'll be back on soon. I plan on doing quite a few of these. I don't necessarily call them tutorials. It's just me sharing some of my craft therapy with you. So just glad to be here with you, and hopefully that we can start a friendship based on our love for crafting. Talk soon. So this is a finished product. I'm going to use these as porch leaners. I might even leave them inside and let them lean against the wall by the door. We have a theme that we've used over the years. We actually keep one tree up all year and change it out for the seasons. And we put one upstairs in my craft room, and I put another one downstairs in my bedroom. So this one, we normally like to have traditional Christmas colors, and so I did make some door hangers that represent the theme that we use for the tree that we keep up all year and just change out for the season. So we use the traditional red, green, and white colors. I did add the lime green to it because it does remind me a little bit of the colors that we see in the Grinch, and our tree has a lot of Grinch items in it. I'm going to show you the tree in a little bit. And also we have a large Grinch that we usually display outside, but we think we're going to place it inside for this Christmas season. So I did make 2 door hangers out of ornaments that were cut out in a ornament shape from Hobby Lobby. I also, as I mentioned before, got these wooden cutouts from Hobby Lobby a little earlier in the season, and they are made out of really good wood. They weren't very expensive at all. When I picked them up, I think the original price might have been $14.99, but I think I ended up getting them like for between $5 and $7. I don't remember exactly, but $5 or $7 each, which wasn't bad at all. And then I purchased the door hangers that I will show you a little bit later. I purchased those from Hobby Lobby as well, and they were made in the shape of ornaments as well. So just wanted to let you see the finished product. Hope you like it, and hope to see you all and talk to you all soon. So here is the tree I was just telling you all about that we keep up all year long, and we just change it out by season. So as you can see, the Grinch is standing by the tree looking outside. And then we even have his hand hanging out with an ornament. So I just wanted to show you the tree that I mentioned to you in the video, and I hope you like it, and I hope everyone has a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.